Hare Krishna. Welcome again to the study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So in the last class, we covered Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10th canto, chapter 36, the slaying of Arishtasura, and how Arishtasura as a demon appeared with, this giant body and so ferocious in the form of a bull. And what does that represent? Once again, this demon represented basically, the terrorists out there who are posing themselves as religious people and posing themselves as righteous, and they're causing havoc on humanity, and not just on humanity, on all living entities in this material world. As we also see in the case, again, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he gives us these examples of how these demons, they are appearing with us and representing different anarthas, is also enlightening us that when we, study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and we read about Lord Krishna's pastimes, we learn to realize some of the characteristics, and so Lord bestows His mercy on us by removing these anarthas from our hearts. And we still, as devotees, have to be very conscious of looking at the symptoms as how these anarthas may try to take shelter in our heart. So we have to be very, very careful. And now today we'll be studying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10th canto, chapter 37, the killing of Keśi and Vyoma. So there are two demons being killed in this pastime by Lord Shri Krishna. So please join us. We'll be doing little kirtan, followed by a study of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10th canto, chapter 37, the killing of Keśi and Vyoma, followed by Narasimha-Devati. Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari, Gopi Jana Vallabha Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, today is a very amazing pastime because not just Lord is killing the two demons who represent various kinds of anarthas, but also he is being worshipped and visited by Devashi Narad. So in this pastime, great benedictions exist if we listen to them attentively and try to understand the message that is being passed. So Shukdev Goswami is speaking Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, and Parikshit Maharaj is the emperor of the world who has given up. He has renounced his whole kingdom and is fasting for 7 days, 7 nights at the bank of Ganges, waiting for his, death to arrive. And in such an assembly of sages, they are all, many self-realized souls, they are present there, like Vyasadeva himself, with Shaktavesha Avatar, an empowered incarnation of Lord Shri Krishna. There are Vashishta, Vishwamitra, Atri, Gautam, and so many other rishis in this assembly. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udirye
Tato Jayamudiriye
Shautam Swakatha Krishna
Shabdam Sa Katha Krishna
Punya Shavana Kirtanaha
Punya Shravana Kirtana
Hridayantasto Hyabhadrani
Hridayantasta Bhadrani
Vidunoti Suhasatam
Vidunoti Suhatsatam
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya
Bhagavate Uttam Shloke
Bhagavate Ruttam Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki.
Bhaktir Bhakti Naishtiki.
Hare Krishna. So let's cover the first two verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 10th canto, chapter 37, the killing of Keśi and Vyoma. We're going to do it together? Yeah, Hare Krishna. Shri Shuka Uvacha Keśi tu kamsa parihita kurirmahim mahahayo nirjarayan manojavaha Shatavaduta braviman shankulam kurvanna bhoheshita vishita khilaha Tam trasayantam bhagavan swagokulam tadadeshitervala vigurnitam budam Atmaramajo mragayantu vagranir upahivat sarvyanadana mrigendravat Shri Shuka Vacha
Shri Shuk Uvacha.
Shri Shukdev Goswami said,
Shri Shukdev Goswami said,
Keshi,
Keshi,
the demon named Keshi,
the demon named Keshi,
tu, and then, Kamsa Prahita,
Kamsa Prahita,
sent by Kams, Kurehe,
Kurai,
with his hooves, Mahim, the earth, Mahahayaha,
Mahahaya,
a huge horse, Nirjarayan, ripping apart, Manaha, like that of the mind, Javaha, whose speed, Shata, by the hairs of his mane, Avadhuta, scattered, Abra, with the clouds, Viman, and the airplanes of the demigods, Sankulam, crowded, Kurvan, making, Nabha, the sky, Heshita, by his name, Vishita, frightened, Akhilaha, everyone, Tam, him, Trasyantam, terrifying, Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord, Swagokulam, his cowherd village, Tat Heshitah, by that name, Vala, by the hairs of his tail, Vigurnita, shaken, Ambudam, the clouds, Atmanam, himself, Ajav, for a fight, Mragayantam, searching after, Agrani, coming forward, Upahavayat, called out, Saha, he, Keshi, Vyanadhan, roared, Mrigendravat, like a lion. Translation by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Shukdev Goswami said, the demon Keshi, sent by Kams, appeared in Vraj as a great horse. Running with the speed of the mind, he tore up the earth with his hooves. The hairs of his mane scattered the clouds and the demigods' airplanes throughout the sky, and he terrified everyone present with his loud neighing. When the Supreme Personality of Godhead saw how the demon was frightening his village of Gokul by neighing terribly and shaking the clouds with his tail, the Lord came forward to meet him. Keshi was searching for Krishna to fight. So when the Lord stood before him and challenged him to approach, the horse responded by roaring like a lion. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Om Ajnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatripatadaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this demon was called by Kans. So he had called Keshi, to his court, and he also called Charun and Mushtika, Tal and Toshal. So these were the wrestlers, and Keshi was a demon, a very strong, majestic warrior. And he was a demon because he was friend of Kansa. So your association defines who you are. And he had many mystic powers. So when Kans told him that you have to go and kill Krishna and Balaram, so this was the first time that Kans realized, when Devashi Narad revealed to him that Krishna and Balaram are none other than sons of Vasudeva, and they are under the care of Nand Maharaj. So Balaram is appearing as son of Rohini, and Lord Krishna is appearing as son of Yashodamai, while Devaki Nandan is Vasudeva Krishna. So he is also Devaki Nandan referred to as. So this is the first demon being sent who knows exactly who he has to kill. And so he, with his majestic power, with his mystic powers, he takes the form of a giant horse. And in the form of giant horse, the hair of his mane, on his neck and back, they are so high that they are scattering the clouds. And so is his tail. So when a horse is galloping very fast, at that time the tail has the tendency of rising up as well. So in this form, he is entering the cowherd village. So Gokula. So this is where the cowherd village has been referred, while previously Lord's pastime, his appearance as baby and then as a toddler was in Gokul. So that was another location. Yet at the same time, this is referring to Lord's Swadharma. That's been identified here. So Gokulam. So Lord's own cowherd village. So he is entering Vrindavan in this ferocious form as a giant horse, and the whole earth is trembling and breaking apart as if there is earthquake happening with his hooves. He is hitting the earth with such power, and as he is approaching, he is thinking himself to be very majestic because his speed is that of the speed of mind. So you can imagine, in speed of mind, right now we can imagine that we are in Vrindavan at Krishna Balaram temple and we are there. Our mind is so strong. In the next moment, we, can think that we are here, wherever we are at our home. So even in COVID-19 lockdown situation, the mind has this power to be able to get out and visit different places. And when somebody, especially, this is very interesting, when somebody name a specific dessert item like Rasagulla, mind is so strong that it can even have the senses, imagine the taste as if they have just taken it, especially Mahaprasad, the offering of, food to the Lord Shiva and then accepting the remnants. So that is transcendental. And when mind meditates on Mahaprasad, of course, it can make the senses realize the taste even. So just imagine the speed of mind. So it can go various places, it can really have the senses experience. So vicariously, people experience things that they cannot experience in real life. Like some of the things, materialists, especially during this time, are engaged in, playing video games, and they are engaged in watching movies. While devotees engage in reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and conversing about, Lord's different pastimes and chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And Srila Prabhupada said that this is transcendental sound vibration, which penetrates through the layers of the three modes of material nature and can reach the lotus feet of Lord Krishna when chanted very nicely, with heart, with full attention, in a prayerful mood. So when we chant, we should chant very attentively in prayerful mood. So here Keshi demon. So you would ask, what kind of anartha does he represent? So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he reveals that Keshi demon is representing anarthas when with respect to devotees as well as with respect to materialists. For devotees, the anartha is that when a devotee thinks, it's a vanity of thinking that I'm a great devotee, or I'm a great Shiksha Guru, or I'm a great Diksha Guru. So that vanity of thinking that one is very great in their areas is an anartha, because it leads to pride, and pride cometh before fall. And soon, a devotee gets diverted from their devotional service, thinking that now they want name, fame and glories from others. They start expecting it. And sometimes we see, when devotees, they show these qualities, they're not at all attractive. Because we are humble servant of Lord Krishna. A devotee always thinks himself to be more humble than all other devotees, and even sometimes materialists. They put themselves in a very humble position. They welcome everyone with open heart, and yet at the same time understand that they have to protect this Bhakti Lata Bij, which is the chanting of, nourished and watered by the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, Keśi demon in his previous life is revealed in Brahma-Bhāgavata Purāṇa. He was a Gandharva by the name Suparsvaka, and he was along with his other two Gandharvas, and those other two Gandharvas took birth as demons, so they were cursed. And one came as Pralambasura, and Balram, Lord Balram, slayed him. Another one came as Bakasura, who was also brother of Aghasura and Putana in this pastimes. But in the previous, life, he was also a Gandharva, and he was killed by Lord Krishna. So Keśi demon is appearing, and he is thinking himself to be very majestic, and he knows what his goal is. And he is approaching to kill Lord Krishna. So he is searching for Lord Krishna. In the past, we saw that demons were going, but they were not always sure who they have to kill. Yet, who are they going to kill? So even though they were looking to attack Lord Krishna and Lord Balram in various times, and many times, like in the case of Dhenukasura. Dhenukasura didn't even approach Lord Krishna and Lord Balram. Lord Balram, he moved the trees, so attracted Dhenukasura's attention. But here Keśi demon is the first demon being sent by Kans, telling him who is the target. So if you talk about, hired kill, or, like somebody has some, army man or someone, it's someone who is a good sniper to kill someone. So where is this coming from? It's coming from Kans. He is the one who is like the leader of such personalities who do not have the capacity to take action and challenge another person. Rather, they want to send someone else to kill their enemies. So that is the tendency. So here Keśi demon has come, and he is coming with such a roar that everyone is terrified. Everyone is, running hither and thither. So even the cows, they run out to their cow sheds. People are hiding inside their houses. And even a small sound of, dropping of a utensil or anything is, frightening even to the householders. So in such a state where the earth is getting torn as he is with his hooves, he is, beating it so hard as he's running. And he has this giant form that with the hair of his mane, he is scattering the clouds and the airplanes of the demigods. So demigods would, often come to Golok Vrindavan, in this particular Bhama Vrindavan, where Lord Krishna had appeared. So here, they are looking at and seeing pastimes. And this is early morning hours, the wee morning hours. So again, in the early hours, this Keśi demon has come, and he is looking for Krishna. And at that time, Nand Maharaj, he is the king of the residents of Vrindavan. So he is the king, he is the Vaishya king. So he is trying to understand what to do of this situation. And at that time, Lord Krishna comes in front of Keśi demon. And looking at the sign, what has been described as Lord Krishna is wearing, a peacock feather on his head, he is holding a flute, He has the cloudish, bluish complexion like that of a raining cloud. And he is just 8 or 9 years old at this time. So he is above 8, approaching 9 years, 9th year. So as Lord Krishna comes in front of him, and he challenges that, yes, if you are a demon, let's fight. So at that time, seeing that a small child is challenging me, he becomes angry and he is roaring like a lion. So that is what has been identified. Mragrendovat, like a lion is roaring. Now somebody could say, wait a minute, horses neigh, they don't roar. But this is not a horse. This demon is not born as a horse. Like Arishtasura and other demons were born as, like bull was the form in which Arishtasura was. Bakasura was born as a bird form, like a giant duck or swan. So here, baka is actually a Hindi term for a specific bird. So here, Keśi demon has taken the form of a horse. And so, seeing Krishna, first he is thinking that just by my roaring itself I can scare. And he roars like a lion, but Krishna is not affected at all. He is watching Keśi with great confidence. So Keśi demon, he comes in the form of his horse and he wants to, attack Krishna by his hooves, by his stumbling on Lord. And Lord Krishna very expertly catches hold of his, forelimbs, and then he whirls him around and throws him at a distance of 100 bows. So having fallen this is, as soon as Keśi falls on the ground, he falls unconscious. And after a few moments, he comes back to his consciousness. And he's feeling very ashamed and very angry. Because this is a 9-year-old boy and he's defeating and he's beating up a demon like me. He's thinking in that mood, and he again gets up and charges. And when we see that horses are very angry, they have this tendency, means again when Keśi demon initially charged, he had his mouth open. But this time his mouth is fully open, so that his teeth and the upper part of the teeth that's like shining out, that's appearing, and he's expanding his mouth as if he's going to engulf the whole earth along with Lord Krishna. So as he comes close to Lord Krishna to again triumph Lord with his hooves, with his feet, Lord Krishna very expertly this time penetrates. He, uses his left hand and he penetrates the mouth, the open mouth of Keśi demon. And as soon as Lord does that, all his teeth that were showing up before, they immediately fall out. That's the first thing. And how it appears so easy as Lord Krishna entering his hand in the mouth of Keśi demon all the way to his throat, to the back of his mouth, as if, a snake enters a hole. So that's like a natural tendency for a snake to enter. So that so easily Lord Krishna is able to make his hand enter. And Lord Krishna's hands are said to be soft and most cooling effect. They have the cooling effect of blue lotuses, as is being revealed by the acharyas. But to Keśi demon, the hand of Lord Krishna feels like hot fire, like molten iron. So that's how it's appearing. And what happens, the next effect is that his hand starts expanding in the mouth of Keśi demon so that he can't even breathe properly. And so trying to breathe but not able to breathe, and then everything, his whole throat, his whole mouth is burning, because Lord's hand is appearing like a red hot iron rod which is expanding in size. So Keśi demon, unable to breathe, he falls on the ground, his eyes start rolling, he's perspiring, he's passing stool, and then he dies. And Lord Krishna very swiftly withdraws his hand. So even a great demon showing such great power is so easily killed, and it's so humiliating, just like for Arishtasura. When Lord beat him up, he appeared to be passing stool and urine. So similarly here, Keśi demon also passes too. So it's like so humiliating. So at that time, Lord Krishna, with full humility, no show of pride, he continues with his daily activities. So he continues, he goes back, gets ready, and goes with the cowherd boys to tend to the cows. And then they are taking the cows and the bulls and oxen, to the forest for cowherding. So it appears like Lord has full humility. He's not showing any sign of, arrogance. So this is Lord Krishna, who is just, delivering one demon after another. And of course, as Acharyas revealed to us, it is not Lord Krishna who's killing these demons. It is Vishnu in Krishna who's killing. So Vasudev, Krishna is currently present in Krishna, Devakinandan Vasudev. So there are two personalities. Actually, they are unlimited personalities. But in this particular case, just they are one and not. Achintya Veda Tattva comes in. So they are simultaneously one and different. And so Lord is taking, along with cowherd boys, all the cows for tending to those cows. He goes, and as they are spending their day just like any normal day, the boys, they decide to play a game. And the game, so actually right before that, when Lord Krishna had killed Keśi demon, right after that, what happens is Lord is going to the forest, and in a secluded place, Devashi Narad, sage Narad, he approaches Lord Krishna. And he pays obeisances to Lord Krishna, singing his glories. So he's a, eminent, he is a wonderful devotee of Lord Krishna. So he is the one who had made every attempt to expedite Lord's, Mathura's pastimes. What has happened is, in the previous chapter we heard as that he revealed to Kans that Krishna and Balaram are actually the sons of Vasudeva. Why? Because he wants Kans to call Krishna and Balaram quickly to Mathura so that they kill Kansa. So this is Devashinara. He is planning this all out. He is part of the, he is expediting it. He is so eager to hear. Yet at the same time, Shukdev Goswami is giving a glimpse of what is the coming attraction to Parikshit Maharaj, where he is saying that Devashinara, he in a secluded place meets Lord Krishna, and then he's singing glories. Oh, my dear Lord Krishna, oh Krishna, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the giver of all mystic powers. You are the, all in all. So he's, Sarvakaran Karanam. So he's the cause of all causes. And then he starts singing the glories, saying that just after 2 days, he is eagerly looking forward to seeing how Lord Krishna kills Charun and Mushtika. So Krishna and Balaram together, they kill Charun and Mushtika, and they are the three brothers. And how Lord will kill Kans, how Lord will kill various demons, Mura demon, including Narkasur, including Dravida, the monkey demon. And so they are narrating all these pastime that Lord will be carrying out. How he will kill Kuvalpiriya elephant, an elephant that has the strength of 10,000 elephants. And this again elephant was cursed in his previous birth. So again, from Keshi's pastime and killing of Keśi demon, we realize that one should not be proud, and we should try to improve whatever we have received and try to continue to advance. Sometimes I've seen that devotees, they become so proud that they try to correct others, not knowing that they are the ones who are making mistakes. I'll give you a few examples. And that's also, again, we should not look at others' faults. Rather, we should ignore them and try to, improve ourselves. That should be the goal in life, right? Because we have our journey, they have their journey. Why should we disturb them? Yasmano dijite loko lokana dijitechaya. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that devotees don't disturb others and don't get disturbed by others. Yet at the same time, sometimes people have some tendencies and they try to correct others. This is an example. There was this man, he used to tell his wife that he keeps calling her and she never hears. So she she's hard of hearing. So he, just to test this out, he goes to the other end of the house and he says, "Oh my dear wife, where are you?" And he doesn't hear anything. Then he comes like about, little closer. And still he's far away, about 40, 50 meters. And he says, "Oh my dear wife, where are you?" And he doesn't hear anything. And then he comes closer, 30 meters. He says, "Oh my dear wife, where are you?" Then he comes further closer, 20 meters or so. And he says, "My dear wife, where are you?" He's not hearing any response. And then he literally is at the door of the kitchen where she is cooking. And he says, "Oh my dear wife, where are you?" And his wife says, "This is for the 5th time I'm telling you I am in the kitchen." So sometimes the tendency is that we are thinking that the other person has this fault while we ourselves could be having this fault. And we may be thinking that, yes, I'm a great devotee of the Lord and I have all the right to correct others. Well, that's the wrong tendency. As a devotee, we are always thinking everyone else to be greater than us. That's why when we recite Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we are also singing glories to our spiritual master. We see, Srila Prabhupada's Pranam mantra. We sing, and then sometimes people, when we are singing, they say that, "Prabhu, you need to correct what he is saying." Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine. So when we are saying Saraswati Deve, they say that no. He was a disciple of Saraswati, But this is not Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. So it is, you should be saying Saraswati Devi. And then, but in Sanskrit, when you translate it, he is a disciple of Saraswati. But this is not Saraswati Thakur. So it becomes Saraswati Devi. It doesn't stay Saraswati anymore. And I was enlightened in this particular, grammar aspect by His Holiness Ravindra Swarup Prabhu. So he, not just that he is a PhD holder, and he was a PhD holder when he took shelter of Srila Prabhupada, he, in his many writings, has identified that we should be looking at our pronunciation. Srila Prabhupada put a lot of stress. While our surrender should be full. Yes, we are making effort for our pronunciation, but our surrender should be full. And we should understand that when we are, singing glories of Srila Prabhupada and, singing his Pranam mantra, we are speaking his Pranam mantra in a prayerful mode, asking for his blessings, then we are properly pronouncing it. Not whimsically just saying that it is Saraswati Devi. It is supposed to be Saraswati Devi. So these are simple items sometimes, and it's very interesting. So many times I see people afterwards correcting me, and I just smile and said, "Thank you, Prabhu. I will pay attention to it." But at the same time, I want to stay, on my path. So I continue to say, as it is correctly stated, that we should sing Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarine. So we sing the mantras with the right mode of humility. Another aspect is, we are always chanting Om Jnana Timrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So this is the glory of our spiritual masters, where we are actually glorifying our spiritual master who has given this, Shastra Chakshur. He has given us the vision to be able to see the Shastras, the message of God, our life as well, in the right perspective. It is said that an unexamined life is not worth living. So it is very important for us to introspect our life and see how we are living our life, how we are living in the right mode. So there are various lessons, and of course we glorify spiritual master by another set of prayers. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripatadaham vande Shri Gurum Deenataranam. So the spiritual master is deliverer of Deena, people who don't have much capabilities. And one who can't even speak can, Mukham karoti vachalam, can give great, talk on great subject matters. Pangum langayate girim, a limb person, a person who can't even walk properly, can cross over mountains. Yat kripatadam vande. So we pray to such a spiritual master who is the deliverer of people like us who are dina, who are very poor, who are very simple, very humble. So that is the attitude of a devotee. And this is where, when somebody has this anartha, that they are thinking that they are great devotees and that they are great preachers and they are great book distributors and everyone is envious of them, this mindset, it's vanity of thinking in this manner. So these anarthas get removed when you hear these pastimes and you study this chapter and try to introspect. Are these qualities in us just like this Keśi demon who was trying to show himself but he was so badly humiliated? So everyone is tested at the time of death, at the last moment of their life, everyone is tested. And we should be very careful that not do our introspection at that time when it's too late. That is like starting to prepare an army when you are under attack. Rather, this is the time to get up, wake up, and prepare for your life's journey, which is with the purpose that we have taken birth in this human form, which is to be able to go back home, back to Godhead. And which the journey simply starts with chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Devashi Narad is glorifying Lord Krishna, that just 2 days after today, I will be seeing you and Balaram kill Charun and Mushtika, then you will kill Kans, then you will be killing so many demons, and I will see you, retrieving Samantaka jewel. I will be seeing you that you will be accepting another wife in that process. I will be seeing you, establishing Dwarka. I will be seeing you, having such wonderful pastimes where you will be killing many demons. So again, this is Devashi Narad is glorifying Vasudeva Krishna, son of Lord King Vasudeva. And he is awaiting those pastimes, the Mathura Leela and Dwarka Leela, and the Rasuya Yagya of Yudhishthira Maharaj, where Lord will kill the king of Chedi, Shishupal, and later on his cousin Dantavakra. So Shishupal is Jaya, again he was cursed by the Chaturkumaras, and Dantavakra is Vijay. So this is there after Hiranyakashipu Hiranyaksh, and then Ravana and Kumbhakaran. Now this is their third birth as demons. And that you will again defeat Jarasandha, and how you will establish yourself, as well as how you will support the Pandavas. And in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, you will become the charioteer of Arjuna. And just as time personified, you will annihilate all these demoniac kings. So Devashi Narad is eager to look at those pastimes. And now, how is Devashi Narad able to see and know that Lord will be performing these pastimes? Is because he has spiritual body and he can see past, present and future. So he's looking into the future, what is the coming attraction. And when Shukdev Goswami is telling this to Parikshit Maharaj about this glorification of Devashi Narad, where he is glorifying Lord Krishna, he is telling Parikshit Maharaj that stay awake. Once again, Parikshit Maharaj is of course very eager to hear Lord Krishna's pastimes. But when you come to know of coming attractions, that there are amazing pastimes coming ahead, you may be thinking, oh, there are so many demons already killed, what is there to kill now? Well, there are so many even stronger and, majestic demons who are, lined up to be killed by Lord Krishna. So, he's enticing, he's encouraging Parikshit Maharaj to hear more attentively, yet at the same time Shukdev Goswami himself is relishing. So it just so happens that afterwards, Devashi Narad, he pays obeisances to the Lord, and then he leaves, takes his permission. So this is, in summary, Shukdev Goswami has explained this meeting, that at the same time, this is where Devashi Narad also reveals to Lord Krishna that he is the one who is trying to expedite everything, and so he's looking forward for Lord to come to Mathura. So that has been clearly identified. And when Devashi Narad leaves, and every time Lord kills a demon, the demigods, they shower flowers on Lord Krishna. And then Lord Krishna, along with the cows and cowherd boys, he's going to the forest with the cows to tend to the cows, cow herding. And as he's taking the cows, the cowherd boys, during the daytime when the cows are grazing grass, they would play. The cowherd boys would play among themselves some kind of game. So this time, Lord Krishna and the cowherd boys, they decide to play a game where, we used to play as kids as well. Thief and policeman. So some of the cowherd boys become sheep. They say that they are sheep, and then some cowherd boys become thieves. They're stealing these sheep, and some cowherd boys act like policemen. So they are playing, we call it in Hindi, Chor Sipahi, as kids play sometimes. So they are enacting, so this is where that game comes from. And at that time, Vyoma, he is a demon, a son of Mayadana. So Vyomasura, Vyoma means one who can fly like a bird. So he has the capability to fly in the sky. So his form appears somewhat like a bat figure. And so Vyomasura, he also has majestic power. He's got mystic powers. So he's able to change his form into a form of a cowherd boy. And he mixes with the cowherd boys in playing this game. And as a thief, he's taking the cowherd boys who are sheep and then, flying over to a cave in the mountains and, putting them inside the cave and closing the mouth of the cave with a boulder, big stone, giant stone. So now the boys cannot escape. And then he's picking up one boy after another. So there are only 4 or 5 boys remaining who are acting as sheep. At that time, Lord Krishna, realizing that this demon has taken this form and is, literally abducting the cowherd boys, he catches hold of Vyomasura, who is in the form of a cowherd boy. Yet at the same time, Vyomasura, to show his power, he takes his original form. Yet at the same time, Lord Krishna is holding him so strongly that he is not able to escape. And at that time, Lord Krishna throws him onto the ground. So when Lord Krishna throws him onto the ground, it is said that he kills him just like a sacrificial animal. It's just like an animal is sacrificed. And the acharyas, they tell us that, they, identify to us that an animal is strangled in sacrifice. So by strangling this demon, Lord Krishna is able to kill him. And since Lord Krishna knows everything, he goes to the cave and just with his fist, with one smash, he smashes the boulder, the stone that was blocking the mouth of the cave into pieces, and he rescues all his cowherd friends. So all of them are singing glories of Lord Krishna, and again demigods are showering flowers. And this is where this chapter ends. Now Vyomasura is a demon that who was killed, and Devashi Narad had not mentioned him because he was not one of the demons who was sent by Kans. He was just a demon who happened to be passing by, and he decided to abduct for whatever purpose he needed these cowherd boys one after another. And so he was killed. So he was not one of the demons who had this intention of killing Krishna. He just wanted to kidnap the cowherd boys for his demonic purpose, and that was the cause that Lord Krishna killed him, and so he was killed. Now who was Vyomasura and what does he represent? Vyomasura represents the company of cheaters, of thieves, and of people who pose themselves as avatars, incarnations of God. So even the followers of such people are, they are representing Vyomasura. So they are showing that tendency to have this anarthas. And so devotees have to be very, very careful not to have association of devotees or even, cheaters. And we should be very, very careful. And not just devotees, even common man. I've seen so many times when we try to see and meet different people. And, some people, they are saying, okay, they are great astrologers. And the first thing they are saying is that as soon as you meet them, they say, oh, you want to know about your future? And we haven't gone there to meet our future. We have gone there just, to accompany some relatives, and they're saying, put $5,000 here, before we talk anything else. Right then and there, it's very visible. Their interest is not in telling the future. They're cheating you of whatever you have. While devotees, what do? We actually give prasad, right? to anyone who comes to us. We welcome them very nicely, we give prasad, because our purpose is to somehow or other bring them to Lord Krishna. Even materialists, even people who may have some demonic propensity, our tendency is to bring them to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Yet at the same time, the senses are so dull that they cannot understand the potency and the blessing that they're getting, by chanting of the holy name. Yet at the same time, when we give them prasadam, many times Srila Prabhupada would have, conversation with great personalities, and many of the ministers. One of the case was an education minister in Chicago. He had gone to meet Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada and he just exchanged one sentence, and afterwards the conversation was over. And it was very clear that the man was not ready to accept any good instruction, and Srila Prabhupada did not want to hear about his plans. So at that time, Srila Prabhupada, he simply signaled his disciple to say, make sure that he gets nice prasadam when he leaves. So this is a tendency, because Atah Shri Krishna Namadi Na Bhavet Graham Indriya Sevon Mukhehi Jivado Swayameva Spurutata. Our senses are so gross and dull that they cannot understand the transcendental, nature of name, form, activities, pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. However, when we engage our tongue, which is the strongest of our senses, in the service of the Lord, then He automatically manifests Himself to us. So that's why devotees, we have special attraction towards prasadam, that we like to distribute prasadam. Prasadam means mercy of the Lord. And we are nimitta matram, just like Arjuna is. We are just an instrument. So if you are a good instrument, that you want to preach and you want to make this knowledge available to everyone. So that is the tendency of a devotee. That is our service. And Srila Prabhupada also said we are professional beggars. Yet at the same time, we are giving transcendental knowledge, transcendental wealth in exchange to the material wealth. So you can imagine, there is no comparison. Goddess Lakshmi is always serving the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So she wants to serve Lord Krishna. While there are people who wants to serve Goddess Lakshmi, not realizing that by serving Lord Krishna, you get all kind of benedictions. And these benedictions are permanent in nature, not like the temporary and, causing havoc further to one's life, as when one receives the benedictions from demigods. So this is what we learn in this particular chapter, as how Keśi demon and Vyomasura were killed. Now the question still remains, who was Vyomasura? In his previous birth, he was Bhimratha, king of Varanasi. And he was ruling very nicely, and afterwards he renounced his kingdom to perform austerities, and he went to Malaya hills to perform austerities. And as he was performing austerities, sage Pulatsya, along with his many disciples, came to his ashram. And at that time, since the king was meditating, he could not welcome sage Pulatsya and his disciples very nicely. So Pulatsya at the time cursed him to become a demon. So that's why he was born as son of Maya Danav, demon Maya. And his name was Vyoma, and he could fly in the sky. However, he immediately begged for forgiveness from the sage, and at that time, being compassionate towards King Bhimrat, sage Pulatsya said that he will be killed by the hands of Lord Krishna. So that was a benediction in essence, just like we heard in the previous case, that anyone who is killed even by Lord Krishna or loved by Lord Krishna is absolute. So the effect is same. However, when killed by Lord Krishna, as Rupa Goswami reveals, they are able to attain Vaikuntha planet. But devotees who serve Lord Krishna with love and devotion, they are able to go even to a higher planet, Golok Vrindavan, where they can directly associate with Lord in his loving pastimes. That is where Lord is performing Ashtakali Leela with his devotees, constantly engaging in, with love, engaging in activities like as cowherd boys, they are able to engage as gopis, and we can only be raganugas. So we can only follow the ragatmika devotees. So as we practice our devotional service, we are able to get to that level that we can, become attached to one of the Ragatmika devotees who are naturally, in that position of and have love of Godhead, and by serving them we are able to engage in the supreme pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna. So this is where this chapter ends, and then in the next chapter we will hear how Akrura is on his way to get Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. And he is, most prominent of the Vrishnis, of the Yadus, and he is on this mission to bring Lord Krishna and Balaram, and he is a great devotee of the Lord. So, yet at the same time, he has been by Kans to take a golden chariot to get Krishna and Balaram to come to Mathura to attend a bow sacrifice again, as well as a wrestling match. So wrestling match is where Charun and Mushrika are planning to kill Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram. So we'll be picking up that in the next class. And in this particular chapter, one of the very interesting aspects we hear is again and again that one should not become very proud. One should be, looking at improving ourselves without disturbing others and continuing to engage in devotional service, which simply starts with the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Grantra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Bade Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Jai Go Premanande, Hare Hare.